Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Be Real, Get Real with Women's Prosperity Network. I'm Trish Carr, your host today, and I'm really excited to have my guest with me. It's somebody I know for a long time, and I think many of you know this woman. She's been a member of Women's Prosperity Network for more years than I can even count. And as we're getting settled in and you're getting your screens on and your audio working, I first of all appreciate you being here. This conversation is going to be one that's going to be very interesting for you in terms of your own personal health and the health of your family and protecting them from so many unforeseen outside forces that are affecting us physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. So I'm going to bring on my guest in a moment. But before I do, I wanted to invite you to please share this audio and video. You know, that little button down there that says share, just go ahead and click that and share this to your timeline or to the groups that you're a part of. Because the more we get to know each other, the more our relationships get stronger. And isn't everything about relationships? It is. It's about the people in your life because truthfully, you know this. People do business with people. We don't do business with businesses. We do business with people. So the whole purpose of this broadcast is to get to know each other on the next level and of course, share with you how we can make a difference and how our guests can make a difference. And today I'm so thrilled to have with me Sherinata. Many of you know Sherinata. She is on a mission to educate people about the dangers of electronic sensors. Now, I'm not talking about people who wear, the aluminum foil on their heads, but I am talking about a real physical threat to our bodies, to our families. And Sherinata has a solution to it, and she has a real burning desire about this. And, before she became an advocate for healthy technology, although she always was, but before she did that, she spent over a decade as a transformational life coach and energy healer, helping families reduce personal and environmental stress. And she works so well with children in particular. So it is my pleasure to invite you to meet Sherinata, who's with me today. Hello, my friend. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Trish?
I'm doing great. It's so good to see you. And your story is so compelling, Sherinata, really, because when I first met you, you were doing transformational workshops and transformational coaching for women and families. And this has always been something that you were interested in. And I think I would love for you to share, like, what is your passion around the electronic things that are coming into our bodies? Where did that come from?
Well, I think it was first tipped off when my late husband, back in 1999, he passed away with a glioblastoma brain tumor. And I think the most, I should say, fascinating thing about it, first of all, he was only 33 years old at the time. He was, in great health. And but he was an electrician, and he was surrounded by electromagnetic fields all the time. So he left me with my 1-year-old son, and which was, really shocking because, we weren't ready for this. We were just starting our lives off. And so time ticks on, we heal. We
Right.
don't
When are
know,
you
right?
ever ready?
Mm-mm. No, we're never ready. Never ready. And so until you get, messages for other things, and we realize that, there's always a bigger picture happening in life, right? You know, and then in 2014, I was like 2013, 2014, I was getting my own headaches, not feeling well. And that's when I realized somebody really introduced me to shungite and how it works, and to wear this because I was surrounded by EMF. I had this small little office, not the one I have now, and it was everywhere. She goes, "You're inundated with this in there." So she goes, "Wear this. It has its own electrical field. It's perfect. It's the perfect stone to neutralize radiation." So I'm like, "All right, give it to me. I'll take anything because I am not feeling good." So I wore it 3 days. I felt better. Like, wow, no more headaches, no more extreme fatigue. And little did I know, the story goes, right? Little did I know that, fast forward to 2020 in April, was I going to actually have an emergency craniotomy because I had, a 5 centimeter brain tumor that was an emergency surgery because I couldn't move my hands, couldn't move my feet, could barely, I was even having dementia issues and conversation and stuff.
So
Well,
wait, 5 centimeters is about this much?
it's like it was the size of a plum. A large
Yes,
plum.
5 centimeters. But so wait, so let me get back on this timeline. So Frank passes away 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, 10 years later, you find yourself having headaches, not feeling right. Somebody says to you, there's this gem or stone or whatever it's called. Is it a mineral?
It's a mineral. It's
It's
just
a
a.
mineral. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
says to you, this mineral will take care of your headaches because most likely it's coming from the electromagnetic fields that you don't
Mm-hmm.
even know are affecting you. And you started wearing it,
I felt better instantly.
felt better right away. And then was it at that point that you connected Frank's tumor to that? Was it like, oh my gosh, the light bulb went off?
Yep, and that's when the light bulb went off, and I said, "Wow." Well, and that's where I really thank you for saying that because that's when I really started as an energy healer and life coach. I started educating people, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, if this works so good for me, I got to have everybody wearing this. I got to start telling everybody about it. I want my children protected. I want
Yes.
to keep I have goosebumps right now because I was so, well, you know how I was. I was so passionate, and everybody needed to start protecting. And that was before we had 5G. We only had 3G at that time. We were going into 4G. And the thing is, little did I know at that point in time, my tumor was actually 1 centimeter at
So
that
you already had the tumor when you started wearing the shungite, which is
moment.
probably what was causing
The
you were
fatigue,
get
the
so
headache.
isn't that crazy? So
Yeah.
Frank was exposed to all of these things on the job, and somehow you were being exposed. It had to be heavily, right?
I
Can
believe
you?
because I had a very small office, and the thing is it was a much smaller office, and I had my monitors, I had my Wi-Fi router, I had the Wi-Fi router was literally sitting 1 foot away from my desk, along with my Bluetooth printer, along with my decked phone, and here I am, an energy healer, trying to work out of this office, which is off my bedroom. So I was literally sitting in a microwave oven. I built that office in 2010, and according to my cells were growing at an 18% growth rate. My cells started growing in 2011, 1 year after I built my office and put that Wi-Fi router 1 foot away from my desk.
I like how you say you were sitting in a microwave because that's really what's the same thing. It's all of those things. So any of you who have your electronic equipment close to you, there is a solution other than moving to a bigger office, although of course that would be great, but we don't all have those options. And that's one of the things that Sherinata does is I have these little magnetic things that just go on my refrigerator, my microwave, my computer, and all of those reduce those emissions coming into my body, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it really does. And it helps to align your body and to, it actually is a healing stone. So it's actually creating harmony where there's disharmony, which is why I wasn't having any more pain. It was taking away my headaches. It was helping
Right.
me feel better, helping to release my fatigue. However, the cells were still growing, and it's not going to stop my cells from growing.
Yeah, so the cells were already there from being in a microwave.
Mm-hmm.
The shungite, which is the name of the mineral, was able to reduce the impact of it, but it could not reduce the cells that were already in your head. So
Yep.
fast forward to 2020, and then you have a plum-sized tumor in your own head. So
Yes.
what was that like
Yep. And I
going
had it.
through?
Yep. The staples going all the way around like this,
I
right
know
here.
you were so brave. You put everything out on social media. I was watching your journey that whole time. You even gave it a name, right?
I did. I called my brain tumor Betty. And
Betty the brain tumor.
Betty the brain tumor. And now I spell it Bette because I don't want anybody whose name is Betty to ever think that it's a, association disorder there.
Well, that's okay. Bette Midler won't mind.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. That's another way. You're right. But Midler won't mind. But yeah. So it's like I just totally feel that that was a healing journey just for me to do that. And not only do people, I was speaking about it beforehand, and it took me a lot of courage to speak up about EMF because a lot of people, didn't understand it at all. No, because hardly anybody was talking about it. So, for the most part, Trish, as you know, people were like, wow, they were really happy to hear. But how many people didn't understand at all? They just didn't understand. So, that took a lot of courage for me to speak up.
Yeah.
And I got to say that when I knew there was something wrong when it got to the point where, my hands were not moving and I couldn't put them up over I couldn't even put this hand up this high and my foot started dragging and I'm like, okay, there's something definitely wrong. And, it's interesting because I wasn't really scared. I went in and it's like, I heard the voice and I heard like my higher self and God, whoever creator, whatever you want to call it, universe. And there's like, everything's going to be okay. Everything's one and done. And I think that's the most important thing is for people to really, it's like we can either turn into fear mode, either A, turn into fear, or B, we can get the courage to speak up and do what we have to do the right things, to say the right things, and to be in the right moment. And or you have the choice to do nothing at all and stick your head in the ground and just pretend like nothing's happening. And I think that once that was a healing journey for me, speaking up about it on Facebook and the journey from the moment I had it to the moment I was out of ICU to the moment I left the hospital. And that makes a difference in the healing process because in 24 hours, I was released from literally having my head cut open in 24 hours. I was, released from ICU because I had such a positive attitude doing, NLP on myself, listening to sound healing music in the ICU room. And, which is pretty remarkable because if you pull it up, anybody who has a craniotomy, they're never hardly ever released within 24 hours after surgery.
Just the word craniotomy. When you said I had a craniotomy, I'm like, holy cow. I think that means they opened up her cranium.
Get out the table saw.
Oh my gosh, Sherinata, I'm just so in awe of you and that you were able to go through that experience with such grace. I mean,
Thank
really,
you.
such grace. And to have the courage to share that, because I know so many of us, I mean, we all have stuff, right? Everybody has stuff. But most of us don't share the journey until it's over. And I
Mm-hmm.
think you sharing it, going through it, it was important for people to see, wow, she's going through this amazing thing that's happening in her body. And yet here she is talking about it, being able to be released from the hospital within 24. I mean, it gives people hope, right? That you can
Yes.
get through anything.
Yeah, and and I think that was the biggest thing is just, truly being out of fear mode because the fear is what shuts us down. The fear is what makes us sick. The fear is what stops us from healing. The fear is what makes everything worse and makes everybody else worse. And to tell you the truth, with me being so grounded and knowing that everything was going to be one and done and okay, because that's all I heard. That's all I felt. That's all I knew. Everybody else around me was feeling the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
that's the most important. It's like you can either make that chaos worse, or we can create a peaceful, surroundings around us. And that's all we are, is energy. And with all the chaos going out there right now with EMFs, I mean, EMFs literally, like you said, when you just opened up and introduced me, it affects our brain. It affects us emotionally to be stressed out. I mean, it literally puts us in fight or flight, the EMF.
Right. Right.
And it creates us to have ADD. We can't focus. We have chronic fatigue. And now they're finding it actually is, creating cancers in the gut, not just around here. It's creating gut issues, heart issues. I mean, it just goes on and on. So it's perpetuating motion.
Yes, it is. Well, and so the products, so you found the products, all about how to get them. They come from Eastern Europe.
Yes.
And if by using the products, I reduce the amount of EMFs that are going to be in my home, as well as that are going to be affecting me. And so it can actually prevent, right? Isn't that the
It will
goal?
prevent, it's going to help. It, some people don't notice a difference, but many people wear it and they feel more peaceful. That's the one thing. I have reviews all over, my website and Amazon and, Etsy and all those platforms, but the website's the best place to go always. And, that's the biggest thing that people have always told me. They're like, I feel so much more peaceful when I wear it. So imagine as adults, if we're feeling more peaceful, can you imagine a child or a pet that's surrounded by this all the time and they don't understand what's happening? These kids are bouncing literally off the walls these days.
Right.
And they're addicted to this technology. And it's, so we have to be
Like this.
smart. Yes. Yeah. And not only that, the little PlayStation that it's switched now, it is so powerful, that Bluetooth on there, that it's literally just fritzing out their entire body system. It's, fight or flight, completely weakening their entire immune systems. So I have to say, please, we need to be smarter than our smart technology. Everybody's starting to wear all these virtual reality things around their heads.
Right around your brain.
Right around your brain. And we just have to get it back outside, start earthing again, start being aware that we are human beings in our own perfect electrical field. And we need to start protecting ourselves and being smart about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Using our technology wisely, which, I'm actually going to be putting up some tips and tricks. I don't have it out there yet, but that's going to be my new opt-in and new tips and tricks for your technology, that if you're not using shungite, because we should, like, for instance, quickie, did you know that you should have your Wi-Fi router at least 15 to 20 feet away from your sitting area? Yeah.
I don't think it's 15 to 2. It's right there over my head on my bookcase.
Okay.
But you know what? I could get, I don't have one of those little metal things for it. I could get another pack of those metal things, which are so inexpensive.
And then there are the pyramid too. I have the pyramids as well. So you can put a pyramid in your office by your Wi-Fi router. And that's really, really powerful. And I can just, if you got like a 1-minute thing, can I show how it works with the flashlight?
Yeah, if I can see it.
Of course you can. So what's amazing about shungite, and this is why it's so, so powerful, because it carries the carbon-60 molecule. And so here's a normal flashlight. It's working right now, correct? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shut the flashlight off and take off the conductor. Okay. And I hope I brought the right flashlight, please. Let me see.
So you're taking off the bottom part that connects to the battery.
Exactly. I took off the bottom part that connects to the battery, which is the conductor. I have here, this is a shungite rock. It's true form. There's also the elite form, which is a lot shinier. This shiny one here is 99% carbon molecule. carbon molecules. This has like some pyrite gold and other little pieces in it. But either way, it has the shungite, it has the carbon molecule C60. When I put this here, because it's carrying its own electrical field, which is the fullerene, the carbon molecule I'm to keep talking about, it will literally light up the flashlight. See that? Is that
Yeah.
amazing? I mean, it really, I'm trying to, there. It's so amazing. See, off and then on.
So the
So
fact that it can light up the flashlight, what does that mean?
that means that it's carrying its own perfect charge of harmony. It's actually the same exact field of electrical field as our planet, as our plants, as our, as a Schumann resonance. And it's the same thing that creates harmony back into our bodies again. It's
So it counteracts the effects of. Okay,
exactly
so we talk about 4G, 5G. The truth is, I don't know how all of it works. I don't know the difference between 3G and 5G, but I do know that the bottom line is as we increase the ability to use technology and technology gets better and better, it gets a bigger and bigger threat to our bodies.
our
That's all I
biological
need to know.
system.
So
That's all you need
so
to know.
let's just talk real quickly in the few minutes that we have left. I want you to know that Sherinata does not sell the rocks for you to walk around in your pocket. What she has is these amazing, cute little bracelets, which I wear mine all the time. They come in all great colors. Show that again. Show that again. Go ahead and hold those up. Because the reality is, we want to wear something fashionable. We want to wear something. Look at that necklace, is really great. The little heart necklace.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's ways that you can wear it and it's fashionable and you don't even know you're wearing something that's keeping those EMFs, EFTs, EMFs. I can never remember.
Electromagnetic fields
I
or
know I
frequencies.
always say EFTs, EMFs. I'm always getting it wrong. I'm like, oh no. But yeah, so the jewelry and the bracelets and the little square things that go on my refrigerator and on my router.
And the stickers for
They're
your phone.
so in it. Oh yes, and for the phone, I have one on my phone as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's so inexpensive, and if it can save you from getting a Betty brain tumor, oh my goodness. And think about all the things that we don't understand, yet we know they work. Like you turn on the lights, the electricity goes on, you don't know how it works, it just works. Same thing with this. I have no idea how it works. You do, and you showed me a little bit, but I don't need to know how it works. I just know that it does. And if it's going to save me from going through what you went through, or even having headaches or dealing with any discomfort that I don't know, it comes from that. I want it.
That's the thing. That's the thing. We don't even know that it's coming from it, and we're putting band-aids on all these problems because we're not sure where it's coming from. Why am I sick all the time? Why do I have numbness? Why do I have tingling in my hands? Why do I have rashes on my hand? Why do I have carpal tunnel in my shoulder or elbow? When literally these are the feelings that I have had in my body that I can sense these feelings. That's called electromagnetic sensitivity or hyposensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this. If you put the cell phone to your ear, your hand might get really hot, or maybe your ear gets hot, or maybe you feel a ringing in your ear or a piercing in your ear. Take it off. Because it's your electronics that, smartwatches. I remember somebody even told me with their smartwatch, they put their smartwatch on. She says, I'm not feeling so hot with my smartwatch on me. I'm feeling a little off. She said, but I'll wear it for a week or two and then my body will get used to it. No.
It's not the way it works.
No. This is not what we want to do. We don't want our bodies to get used to this energy because it's not getting used to it.
Right.
Only going to make it go the other way. So,
Right.
It's just let's prevent disease, prevent problems, prevent pain, prevent, loss of life. And this is our loved ones we're talking about, our children, our parents,
Right. 33 years old. You're 33 years old, your
33 years
husband
old.
was. And
Yeah.
it's one of those unforeseen things. So Sharonata, thank you for taking your experience and your passion and creating a way to make a difference in this world for all of us, because so many of us, that's how we start our businesses. It comes from a
Mm,
passion, from something that happened that we just know there's an answer, and I got to get this answer out to people. So thank
that's
you so
it. Thank
much. Thank
you.
you so much.
Oh
If
my
there's
gosh.
anything, the last words you'd like to leave with our those people who are with us today and who are watching on this video replay,
You know
what
what?
would you say?
I would say follow your intuition, because, if you're feeling something in your body, don't discredit it. Whether it's your voice that you want to say something, don't shut it down. If you're not feeling well and you think it could be something else, don't shut it down. And always, have the courage to speak up, have the courage to follow your voice, and have the courage to be smarter than your electronics and smarter than what's going on out there, and overcoming people saying there's nothing wrong with it, because there is something going on with our technology and it's affecting us biologically.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Sherinata
Yeah.
from Karelia Creations. Make sure you go to the website and check out the products and go ahead and invest. I'm telling you, we're talking about under $25 for most of this stuff. And they
Yes.
make great gifts. I just said to Sherinata, I said, the only bracelet I have left is my black bracelet, because every time I buy one, I want to give it away. So I've given away probably 10 bracelets already. So
Yeah.
thank
Thank
you
you.
for being with us. Thank you all for watching and for passing along this message that there is unforeseen things that are causing issues for us. And let's not get to the point where we have problems to the point where we need a craniotomy, right?
I'm just grateful. You know what? I'm grateful to be here to talk about it. How many
Yeah,
people aren't able to talk about it, like my late husband?
absolutely.
So, yep,
Absolutely.
that's it.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you being with us. Thank you to Sherinata. We'll see you again next week on another episode of Be Real, Get Real with Women's Prosperity Network. Take care, everybody.
Bye.